This is a Spore. It's pretty much designed to make a f***ing racket. But it can be a clean booster. It can do overdrive too. But really it's a fuzz pedal. Okay, the reason that Spore's so flexible is because it's got 3 independently adjustable gain controls and a bias control for stability. There's also a tone control and a volume. So we'll get it set up for a clean sound to begin with. That means turning the booster at the front right down. I'll turn most of it right down. Set bias for about 12 o'clock and give ourselves plenty of headroom with the spray control. And crank up the volume. This should give us a nice clean sound with a bit of crunchy character. Right, so that's a nice clean sound. Let's go for some fuzzy overdrive next. That means turning the boost up at the start of the circuit and turn the level down so we don't deafen ourselves. Give ourselves a bit more germanium gain and maybe wind the tone back a bit just to take the edge off. That's kind of a fuzz drive sound there with a couple of dodgy notes. Let's go for something a bit more high gain. So we'll wind up the booster, lower the bias a little bit because it interacts with the spray control. So one of the design goals with Spore was to come up with a circuit where it's easy to dial in usable, in inverted commas, musical sounds. But I wanted something that also gave you the flexibility to go beyond that and get a bit more creative and come up with some really interesting textures. So here's a kind of trashy, zippy, gated thing. Finally, we're going to have a look at the oscillation feature, which is a good way of alienating your neighbours and bandmates. You can control the frequency of the oscillation with your guitar volume, and this little graphic here just shows whereabouts the spray control causes it to kick off. So there you go. Spore from Lateral Sound.